We're short on time, so I'll get started right away. The name of my presentation is Connecting with Clients Made Simple. Not working?
Well, so much for the simple part.
There we go. Thank you. I'm going to start with just a very short, brief introduction to connecting with clients. And this is just a little story about and a testimonial from a mother who wrote, "New Day helped me emotionally, spiritually, and financially because of many health difficulties of myself and my baby George. New Day helped my whole family. I want to let the whole world know what God has done for me and my family." Little George here we call him our miracle boy because his mother at first didn't want him. She was very depressed about it. This would be her fourth child. She didn't know how she could handle it financially and emotionally. What happened through this is all of the tools that we use at New Day were used with this particular mom and this particular child. And it was just an entire series of connecting with, first of all, with a friend who came to New Day, who then called, this mother called our helpline, got in touch with me. I met her at a church. We went through God's Word. And the whole miracle about this is that 2 weeks after baby George was born, this mother had a brain aneurysm and almost died. And right now is just extremely, extremely thankful to God that we supported her through it all. We visited her in the hospital. I visited her in the home. And she is still coming to our center because she is very thankful for what we've done for her. So that's just a little introduction on what connecting with clients can do. Don't get scared. This isn't a sermon with a lot of parts. It'll go fast. But the client is part one. The connection is the truth. Tools that are connecting the truth, the children, why they come, and why it works. So connecting with clients, part one. And this is where I need a little music. And I had all the music set up. It was working fine until just this morning here. And in fact, it worked so good, my husband said, "I do not want to hear that song one more time." And now we don't get to hear it at all. So if I could have that music playing. The rain came down and the floods came up. No. Let's see where is my person here, my music person? Is he around? He left. Okay. Well, you know what? We'll go on without the...
He's coming right now.
Is he? Or we can go on without the music.
Oh, are you musically tuned?
Oh, there it is. Okay. I see the media player. Maybe we can get it right there ourselves. And if we can't, we'll just go on. Just trying to get the song up. If we can't get it, we'll...
It's right here.
We thought it was. There we go. Now we just need the pictures back of the children. The PowerPoint, probably. There you go. There we go. Oh, no. There we go. Mm-hmm. In your way? timing of the music's a little off, but
There once lived a man named Jesus, who lived perfectly in your place.
see if I can.
His life without a cross. He
There we go. So those pictures give you a little idea of the clients we've been seeing. Yeah, it'll be fine now. It'll be good. We don't need the music anymore. Thank you, Nancy. Brings us to our second part, connecting with the clients. And why, first of all, do we need a connection? We have a counselor and we have a client. And why do we want that connection? You can click, Nancy. We want that connection because compelled by the love and forgiveness we have from God through Christ, we speak the truth for life in love out of genuine concern for others. And I couldn't have said it better than from our CLR invitation that we all got in the mail. Those are the words right from the invitation. And that's why we want a connection. And the importance of the connection, this is also taken right from our invitation. It's so important because lives are at stake. Mothers in despair take the lives of their children. That is serious. But more serious are the souls that are at stake, the life that lasts forever. And finally, heaven is our goal. By making that first initial connection with a client through our 24/7 helpline, then through an appointment with a counselor, the opportunity is there to share the message of life as a gift and to build relationships in order to share that life-saving message for the soul. Heaven is the goal. I just wrote these up a little bit about what a client needs, and I'm sure you all know this, but a client needs a servant leader, someone with a wait on tables attitude, someone with a listening ear, someone with the desire and the ambition to help, someone who shows love and compassion towards both mother and child, someone who can point clients to the cross, and someone who cares for the client's body, mind, and soul.
If you could just move a little bit further into the light, a little bit. It's hard to...
Oh, I'm not getting videotaped? Okay. I just wanted to say before we go on, I will email this PowerPoint to anybody who wants it. I just need you to sign up with your email address and everybody will get this PowerPoint.
You want to pass it around while we're doing this?
Certainly we can do it. It's right there. What are the tools that we use to connect the truth? For us, it's New Day Pregnancy Care Center. These are the tools that we have. I'm sure you have a lot of them too, so I won't spend a lot of time on them. But we have the 24/7 helpline. We have a New Day website. We have our Facebook page. Everybody can like it. We have a new CLM website that is up and in construction right now, updating it. And a very important tool we have for connecting the truth is our Mission Warehouse, which, if you don't know what that is, it's our thrift store. And it's only a door connecting our center and the thrift store. So we can take women in need for winter coats, for clothing, and they also share a wonderful message with customers that come in by passing out pamphlets and brochures for us and saying, oh, right next door, they're right next door. If you need some help, right next door, you can go. So we're just a really cool partnership together. The Mission Warehouse Thrift Store does a tremendous job of supporting us also. We have other tools that connect the truth, And I have some of the samples over there on the table if you want to take a look. We have intake forms. By intake forms, it's those forms that we ask the client questions so we get to know them better, let them know that things are confidential, that we are a nonprofit, everything we do is free, and they sign it, and that's important. As they said, which we don't have the emergency phone numbers on our client form, so that was a great addition that I learned we could have on there. We give out the Bible to everyone. I ask if they have a Bible. We give it out. We have the promise. Does everyone know what the promise is? In many different languages. We have community resources, as I'm sure you do, where we go through agencies like the Cradle of Hope that helps our clients with rent. We don't provide any cash to anybody, but these agencies do. And if you don't know who they are in your community, get to know them, because they will help clients pay rent so they're not evicted, and many other things. So we have information folders we give out. Does everybody give out their positive and negative folders? Okay, for the pregnancy tests. We have positive folders, we have negative folders. Those are samples right over there in the black folders, and you can take a look on what we put in every single one. So if the test is negative, it might be on information about sex. If it's positive, we congratulate them, and we give information about abortion, their legal choices. We have something from the Minnesota Department of Health that does require, the law does require that we give that to them. It talks about the medical risks. It talks about pregnancy. And I think I want to pull that out for you just so you can see it. If you don't have this in your state, I was talking to a director yesterday who said they're not aware that they have that in their state. But it's called If You Are Pregnant, Information on Fetal Development, Abortion, and Alternatives. So when they walk in, I'll tell them, yes, they do have 3 legal options. And I'll tell them what they are. But now that you came to see us, is it all right if I tell you about what we believe about life, gift from God? And it does go through all the pictures, talks about abortion and what the types of abortion are, what the medical risks of abortion are, talks about adoption. So this pamphlet is a requirement, but so we always give it out. The other thing that I always try to do, how many of you do this, an exit interview as the client leaves? Okay, good. What I love about that exit interview is, yes, you like to hear that you did a good job, you were treated clients nicely, but on the very back you have, can I call you? I will not call a client back on a phone if I don't have permission. And if they sign that permission slip with their phone number or that I can send them a postcard, great. Then I have permission to call them at any time. And that's another wonderful way to begin building relationships with your clients. You may all do this kind of counseling. We do office counseling, phone counseling, subway counseling, not the New York kind, but Subway McDonald's counseling. We'll meet someone there. Church counseling, we'll meet people at churches in our Wisconsin Synod that we know and are familiar with, and if they're willing to come there, we'll counsel them there. We have email counseling and home counseling. As I mentioned, I do go into people's homes. They seem very happy when I do, and that's a good way to build relationships and get to know them as well. We have all kinds of CDs, not all kinds, I wish we had more. But we have CDs, we have DVDs, we have devotions, brochures, pamphlets, all our samples over there. And also, before you leave, I have an entire list of all the classes that I've taught for the last 2.5 years. And you're welcome to take copies of that if it wants to give you some ideas. So I also have my sources listed. Without counselors and without the volunteers, we wouldn't exist, would we? Without them, they are one of the most important tools. Material support, emotional support, and spiritual support is what we provide But without those volunteers, we would not be in existence. And then what many of you have been emailing about and asking me about is how do we do our New Day Loving Moms classes? It's encouragement and information for new moms and moms-to-be and dads too. And this is how I started the initial class. I got the idea from the pregnancy center in Milwaukee, Pat Johnson and Peter Jorgensen. And so I went home and said, I'm going to do this. And set up steps for the initial class, which were appointments made with the few clients that I knew. I only knew very few. Had them come in and invited them to the first class. Then picked a day of the week, Friday that worked for them, and a time that worked for them, 10:30. It worked for all 3 clients, so I was hoping and praying 3 people would be there. The rest I sent postcards out to because I didn't know them. The week of the class, I made personal phone calls and invited everybody. I prepared the initial class and the devotion. I wrote guidelines for the incentive program. Brought a little lunch for class. And I prayed and waited by the door hoping somebody would come. And I still did that for about a year. I don't do that anymore. I mean, I still pray that they'll come, but I don't stand by the door usually waiting. They came, all 3 of them. So here's a postcard. We use that as a tool. If I have a special class, like this one happened to be a dental office coming in and giving free gifts away. So I send these postcards out as reminders. They like that. They think they know then that somebody cares about them, really wants them in class, and that really works for us. I have a mom sign-up sheet when they come in on Friday mornings. They put the date, or I put the date, the name of the class. They put their name, and then they put what they would like at the end of the class. Do they want diapers and wipes? Do they want a thrift store voucher? Or do they want to save that $5 in mommy money for a brand new pack and play? And if that's the case, they save their vouchers, come to 18 classes, and receive a brand new pack and play. They're also eligible for a door prize if they come on time. And they never know what they're going to be getting. It could be something like a $10 gift card or something very simple. So I let that be a surprise. And that does help them come to class on time. And I'm going to go through these really quickly because I know we're running a little short on time. But I have all my classes listed for the year 2012. So you can just take a look. How do I decide on a class? Well, I can tell you on the top one right there, one of our volunteers came and said, we're just giving away so many pull-ups. What's wrong? Shouldn't these kids be potty trained by now? So, okay. We'll have a class on potty training. And don't ask me why, but I picked a class on water, too. How much water should we drink? Seemed like it went along together. In talking to, as long as I'm talking about diapers, and talking to another director yesterday, he said, we don't realize how much giving diapers away does. Because anyone who comes in for diapers, you get to know them. You get to build a relationship. You get to find out their history. You can find out how many abortions they've had. And if they're coming for diapers, they're coming for more than diapers. They're coming for help. And we need to. So don't think of it as just passing out diapers. Don't ever think of that. And don't let anybody tell you that I know what they're doing there. They're just giving people diapers. They're just taking advantage of us. Don't let anybody tell you that. Never. Because what they're doing is coming to you for help. It's the cry for their help. And if we can help them with just diapers, great. But if we can get to know them and build relationships with them, that's what we really want. Because in the end, we want them in heaven with us. So, yep, keep on going. Infant CPR, Drama Ain't for Mamas. I've got all my resources listed. We did Muffins for Moms, a roundtable discussion on what we love about being a mother. We made projects. We do art projects. We did a lot of top 10 lists, top 10 ways to photograph your baby. That's where some of those pictures came from today. Top 10, you can go on, Nancy. Thank you. Top 10 reasons to breastfeed. What did we do that day? We gave out folders on breastfeeding. We also had a lot of breast pumps. It was also happened to be National or Minnesota Quit Smoking Day, so we combined the two. We do more than just one thing. We're multitaskers in that class. Saving money at the grocery store, and this is where I want to introduce my friend and coworker who started the classes with me. She was there from the beginning, from the first class. The clients grew to love her. They wanted to know what her love life was like with her boyfriend, all kinds of stuff. So here you go. Amber Clausey, give her a, she's been with us for many years. Thank you, not as long.
I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about some of the classes that I taught. Mine were primarily focused on the financial side of it. That seemed to be a really popular topic just because, you know, no matter which age group or which people we were talking about or talking to, the financial aspect of having another child was often one of the factors that they were considering when thinking, you know, should I keep the baby? Can I afford to keep the baby? And again, that was consistent whether I was working at Choices, which was the on-campus pregnancy center, working with students. You know, they had other concerns too, of course. They were concerned about you know, their boyfriends and what their parents were going to think, but financial issues were definitely a concern. And then also working with an older demographic, people who were maybe already married, who had other kids, financial issues were still a major concern. So we definitely wanted to include that. Also the fact that I am a financial counselor, it's what I like to talk about, played a part. So I ended up talking about budgeting with clients. We talked about making sure that you know how much money you've got coming in each month, knowing where your money's going, played a little game, who knows where all their money's going, and that was kind of interesting to see. We talked about credit, how to not get in trouble with credit, grocery shopping tips, how to buy money, or how to save money buying for a big family, lots of meals that you can make that are going to be less expensive, things like chili and spaghetti, you know, which seems kind of obvious, but it was just a fun way to, you know, we could make them as a class, and then, you know, they could take it home with them. You know, and that's also, I don't think Sharon mentioned yet, but we did put together a recipe book and included some of those big recipes in it, so that was a really fun thing that we did as well.
Here it is.
Yeah, there's our recipe book.
Our moms put this together.
But yeah, so we included a wide variety of financial subjects and just kind of intermixed them with, you know, the parenting things that Sharon would do a class on parenting tips, then I would do a class on, you know, the financial aspect of it. And so it was just a good mix to make sure that everybody was going to be involved in learning and making sure that they knew that they did have the resources to have a baby, and we were going to support them with that. Nobody should ever have an abortion just because they don't think they can afford a baby. There are certainly other options. So that was the message that we were trying to get through. It also just shows you that no matter what your skills are, you know, whether your skills are financial or something else, you can try to find a way to apply it to the pro-life cause.
Thank you. Yeah, food is important to us. Food is important to our loving moms. We started talking about recipes, and they gave us all of their recipes. And in that book, that little cookbook, Something You Can Do, they put pictures of their babies on the pages that they have their recipes on most of the time. So take a look at that. You're welcome to do that. They're very proud of it. The cover was designed by one of our loving moms in class, freehand. So we have a very gifted group of moms. Okay, a lot of my sources here are from Focus on the Family. You do need to be a little bit careful, but the ones that I have listed turned out great. They were part of the class. We had great discussions. They are a good resource, as well as babycenter.com. Guest speakers, we had Abby Peterman there. She's the adopted daughter of Ruth and Steve Peterman. We talked about adoption, family adoption, open adoptions. If I have a class that's very interesting and that I can tell they want to do again the next week, we'll just keep going the next week. Are you well rested, physical and spiritual rest, baby blues, postpartum,